Hi folks, so in this video what we're going to be doing is a question here based on circles in contact, or in the chapter based on circles, and specifically what we're doing is this question here based on the guitar, and it's actually to do with what's called tangential circles. Okay, so first of all, if we just look at the object here, we can see here the kind of main portion of the guitar is probably the troublesome bit with these curves here, 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 okay? As you can see then, we've got a series of circles. We've got a circle radius 25, another one here 25, this one here is 15, and these two are also radius 15, okay? And it's, first of all, they're not the issue is drawing this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. They're okay. The issue we're going to have is finding the arc for this one, finding the arc for this one, and obviously finding the arc for this one. And the rest of it then is just normal graphical drawing, okay? Just applying the measurements to complete the actual solution. So, before we actually start on this arc, and this arc, what we're going to do is we're going to put in these 5 circles. So you can see here we've got 2 circles radius 25, we've got 3 circles radius 15. Now, if I wanted to start, let's say I pick the central line and start right here. I'm going to measure a distance from here to here, which is 45, and I'm going to measure a distance from here to here, which is 35. So 45 and then 35. And then it's about identifying, now that center is easy to find, it's about identifying these other 4 centers. So that's what I'm going to start with anyway. So somewhere in the middle of your page, let's put that into the screen so it's a little bit more even. Okay, somewhere in the middle of your page, let's zoom in there a little bit. I'm going to start with a line, and on that line, actually continue it the whole way. On that line, I'm going to measure, pick a start point, right at the start of the line. I'm going to measure a distance of 45 and then an extra 35. I could have added 45 and 35 is 80, but just move the set square and measure again if you want. So there are 2 points, okay, or 3 points. What I've essentially found is this point, I've also found this point and this point. Okay, I'm now going to draw in my circle radius 15. I'm going to get 15 on my compass. Go to my set square here off screen, and from the middle one, I'm going to do in a little circle, radius 15. Now, what I want to do next is I want to identify the other 4 centers. Just zooming in there. So let's identify this center up here and this one down here. From here you can see that the gap between them is 60. Because it's symmetrical, that means it's up 30 and down 30. How do I find the center of this one? You can see here, just because it's radius 15, it's not connected to here. So we need to find out what this gap is here. Where do we go to that? Follow over to the end of the sheet. The gap is 10. That means it goes up 5 and then the radius of 15. So that means it goes up 5 and 15. So 5 and 15 adds to 20. From the center line, up 20, down 20. So that's how we do it. So using your set squares, I'm going to do a little vertical line up and down. And likewise here. So from the middle on this one, I'm going to measure down 20. So from 4 down to 2 is 20, and from 4 up to 6 is 20. And then sliding it along, 4 down to 1 is 30, and 4 up to 7 is 30. Okay, now that I've found the centers, I'm going to draw in my other 3 circles. Sorry, I should say 4 circles. I've got 2 radius 25. It's getting 25 on the compass. Make sure it's just after slipping there. So here's the 25. 25 on the compass. Drawing the arc, the circle I should say. 25 on the compass on the opposite side. Drawing the circle. And I've got 2 15s as well. Getting 15 and 15. There we go. Drawing that circle. Drawing this one. And there we have it. We're after drawing in, as you can see there, are 5 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we're actually going to do before we get onto this portion here with this arc, and this one, we're going to complete the neck. Okay, so the neck of the guitar goes out 60. Okay, so it's up 5 and down 5 to create the gap. And then it goes out 60, and we're going to put in these measurements here, 10 and 30. So, going along the line there, I'm going to put in some measurements here. starting from the end here by connecting the two edges of the circle like that. And I'm going to measure from the bottom of the circle a line out, or draw a line out there. And this one, line out like this. Okay, as you can see, I connected up the edges of the circle, and then from the bottom and the top of each one came out. Now from here in the middle, I'm going to measure out 60. Then I'm going to measure a distance of another 10. Plus another 30 will bring me to the 40. Now at the 40 mark, really easy here, I can do a line up and down. And all I want to do now is I've drawn that line there. You can see it goes up 10 and it connects to here, and down 10 from there and it connects to here. So there's a gap of 30. So it's up 10 and down 10. So just zoom out there a little bit. Just my sheet here. So if you can see here, from the 4 up to the 5, from 5 up to 6 would be up another 10, and from 4 down to 3 would be another 10. All I'm going to do is a line like this, a line like this, do a line up, and this one up like that, and then connect from here to here, and here to here, and likewise at the opposite side, because the object is symmetrical. You can see there now we've got the head of the guitar, okay, and we've got the body as well, or I should say the neck of it. Now, in completing the rest of this one, we're going to start off by getting this arc and this arc. Now, it's something we've done in a previous question and a previous video that I've covered. What we're going to use is, we're going to use the principle of adding radiuses. When we have circles touching externally, we add. So, if you imagine, okay, I'm going to do it on this one here because the sheet is obviously just missing some down here. If you imagine we have a circle up here, if I was to draw that in, I'd have a big circle there like that. It's obviously going into another question here, but you get the idea. A circle there, and what's the radius of that circle? You can see down here, that circle has a radius of 70. So let's just imagine that was the center. So, first of all, I want to find out how far is that center away from this center, because that's the one it's touching. So what I would do is, I would connect them like this. I also want to find out how far it's away from this circle, radius 15, because it's also touching in that circle, it's in contact with it. Now, what do we know about this circle? Well, we know that the radius is 70. That means the distance from there to there is 70. What do we know about this circle? We know the radius is 25, which means the distance from there to there is 25. So what is the distance altogether from this center to this center? The distance altogether, when you add the two radiuses, is 95. So if we swing an arc that is radius 95 from this center, what is the distance between these two? It's actually 85, because 85 comes from 15 and the 70. Okay, so there's the 85. And if we swing an arc 85 and swing an arc 95, we will find the center. And that's how we do it. And we have to do that on both sides over here. So, on our sheet, just to show you it here, you should get your compass. Get 95 on the compass. And the 95 one is swung from this arc. So I'll swing an arc up here, radius 95. I'll also do it on the bottom half, radius 95. Now I need to get 85 on my compass. Swing an arc from the small circle, 85. Swing an arc from the small circle, 85. I have now identified the center point on the bottom and the top of a circle or an arc that is radius 75. Now what I usually do at this stage is I would connect one of the centers like this. You don't have to, you can just get the distance on your compass. But I think the easiest way is if I connect the center like that, and then I simply measure the distance from here to where that line crosses the circle, because that should be my point of contact. Now if I'm accurate, this should match up with the opposite side. I'm quite happy with that. You can see there, it does. Do the exact same on this side. And there we go. Okay, so I've got the two arcs done there on both sides. Now the last one I have to do is this arc. Now, there's a slight difference in this one. In this problem, here we had tangential circles, I should say, touching externally, which basically means that we have a circle on the outside and the outside of a larger circle. In this one over here, we have tangents touching internally, which basically means if you imagine this going all the way around like that, I've got two circles contained within. So for this one we add, when two circles are touching internally, we subtract. So what that means is the center point, you can see here the radius is 75. The center point is going to be somewhere along this line here, okay? But what we have to do is we have to subtract 25 from the 75, which would give us 50. So 75 take 25 will give us 50. So from here, we're going to swing an arc, radius 50, to cut this line, and here, and you'll see radius 50, and it will also cut this line in the same place. So, getting 50 on your compass, what 50 got, from here, I'm going to swing a distance, and you'll see here, if I go to this one, it should hit right there as well. And it does. Okay, that there is my center point for an arc that has a radius of 75. I'll just pull that in. The reason being is because, if I was to imagine that there now, where they're touching the points of contact, how did I work out 75? Now, it looks like it's right in there. It's probably around here, okay? On my sheet, as you can see, it's in here. It looks on the sheet as I demonstrated there. It's probably in around here. Where did I get the 75 from? Or sorry, the 50 from, and then the 75. So where I got the 50 from was, this guy has a radius of 25, okay? What I had to do is I subtracted the 25 from the 75. That means the distance from here to here is 25, which means that the distance from here to here is 25. So look, 25 from here to here, because that's the radius, plus another 25, which is the other radius. So that's our diameter of 50. And then the distance from there to there is 25, which adds up to the 75 radius that we want. Okay, so we subtracted the radiuses and we swung out the opposite side. Now that we have found our center, what we're going to do, we're going to get 75 on our compass. Got my 75 on the compass. I'm going to go to this guy here. Hopefully this works now. It's looking okay. There we go. And there it is. Now all I have to do, that's the question completed. All we have to do here at this point now is heavy in the information that's important to the question. So start with that outside arc, just to begin. So that's the first one. I'll come in here. There's the second. There's the third. Heavy in the correct portions of the circles now. And now these are the radius 15 ones. And then I've got this one in here. We're almost done. So there's my circles completed. Now the last little bit of the question, just heavy in, is the neck and the head of the guitar. I'm not musical, so I actually don't know what the actual proper names are for them, so apologies. And then this line is probably meeting at a 45-degree angle. And boys at this one. Heavy in, and finally heavy in. And there we have it, guys. That there is the question based on the guitar on the topic of circles, or more specifically circles in contact, completed. All we did, just a little recap, for the exterior tangents, circular tangents, tangential circles I should say, we added the radiuses. And for this tangent in here, this one here, radius 70, we subtracted and we found the center point there. So there's the question done, guys. I hope you found that helpful. That's that one completed.